This video will contain minor spoilers such as character names, and major spoilers will be covered in their own section. The trailer starts with a trio consisting of two named characters and a familiar face, or should I say helmet. Harua Davila, the first person in this trio, has a little too much known about her. In fact, too much that we won't be talking about her here, and will save this character for the major spoiler section of this video. Next is Dunmire, an exactor, who wields a mastery of manipulation, puppeteering victory from the shadows. We have not heard or seen of this character until now, so not much is known of them. The last of these three has only been referred to as Dark Crusader, and although being the face of the game, has very little known of them. But if we take a look at the Dark Crusader starting class, in which among other things, you receive this character's armor and their weapon, named Isaac's Longsword. This makes Isaac the only current contender for our Dark Crusader's potential name. The Dark Crusader starting class, in which you receive Isaac's armor and gear, is the only starting class not available from the beginning of the game that we know of, unless you have the deluxe edition of course. But could this mean that this Dark Crusader is a very prominent character in Lords of the Fallen? We now see a red variation of an enemy previously seen in the gameplay teaser bringing over a red glove. This red glove is bestowed upon the Dark Crusaders by the Church of Orion Radiance in recognition of their sole authority to kill in the name of all that is holy. After some cuts from a boss fight, we begin to see the red beacons that mark dungeons around the map. At the end of each dungeon, there is a significant boss. We then see what could potentially be a checkpoint, which would be referred to as an anchor in Lords of the Fallen. Anchors can also be crafted using rare materials, however, they can also be destroyed by enemies if not placed somewhere safe. The enemy that attacks here is a Crusher of Heresy, with the rank of Holy Bullock. They, like the others with this rank, take pride in defending the Order and its beliefs. I find it interesting that the player is attacked by this Holy Bullock, as they seem to be akin to faith, as are the Dark Crusaders. If we look to the left of this bridge, we get a clear image of what most likely is an item. The player then proceeds to jump on a platform in Pilgrims Perch, and we continue to get more cuts of combat. The enemy here is a Shuja. The Shuja folk are a community of hunters who claimed the Forsaken Fen as their hunting grounds centuries ago. This character could potentially be someone we have heard of before. I will talk about this possible connection later in the major spoiler section. After a variety of enemies, we get to see the Light Reaper. He roams Mornstead on his flying three-headed beast, looking to hunt and destroy bearers of the Umbral Lamp. This is because any lamp bearer poses a threat to the resurrection of his fallen master, Adir. Near the end of the trailer we get to see the Cleric, who was one of three all-powerful beings that led the war against Adir. Before the trailer ends, we get a very quick flash of a creepy looking face, but unfortunately, I don't have any knowledge of who this could be. In this trailer we have got to see some of the magic combat. For those of you who don't know, there are three elemental magic types in Lords of the Fallen: Radiant, Rogar, and Umbral. We also got to see the Umbral Lamp being used to peer into the realm of the dead, a main feature of Lords of the Fallen. Lastly, we were given an exclusive clip of the Congregator of Flesh boss fight from IGN, that I will also bring with me to the major spoiler section. With that said, this brings us to the entrance of the major spoiler section, and for the most of you who do not want to get spoiled, thank you for watching my video, and make sure to keep an eye out because we will be seeing more Lords of the Fallen at future Game Show Summer Showcase. Now let's begin with Harua Davila, who I originally believed to be called Willa. She is a secret boss with two phases. In this trailer we also got to see the Umbral child that she is now protecting. We also knew that because of some disagreement, she abandoned the Order. I think this is most likely the result of her adopting a child from Umbral. In Harua Davila's second phase, she merges with the Umbral child to become one. The child will use Umbral magic that damages and slows you down, while still being pursued by Davila. Next, I want to cover who I believe this could be. The first name that came to mind after seeing this character's angel-like wings was Pieta. We know Pieta is the tutorial boss, and has been described as a beautiful and merciful angel. To go into more detail about the tutorial boss fight, she is a raid boss with multiple phases, transformations, and emotions. The wings and being beautiful are really the only connection between Pieta and our Blood-Soaked character, but I felt it was worth mentioning. We get to see a lot more of the Congregator of Flesh in this trailer, and although we do not have any new details on the boss, I will do a small recap on what we currently know about the boss fight. The fight will begin with slow, readable attacks, until phase 2 begins, in which the boss will summon waves of enemy corpses and go into a frenzy, thrashing around the whole arena. Although they were not in this trailer, we now know the name of both conjoined twins, Tancred and Reinhold. I want to thank Carl for this reveal in the comments of my last video, and I also want to thank anyone who dared watch this far. Until next time, stay safe.